What are the penalties for a DUI in Ontario for the year 2022? Before I get started, you should check out a series of videos I created on how to get out of a DUI First Offence. There is a lot of value in these short videos. I've included links in the description below. Watch them now. They're well worth your time. Let's get started with some context. When you get convicted of impaired driving or a DUI or a refuse to take a breathalyzer test, you will be subject to penalties listed in the Criminal Code of Canada. You could read the specifics of these DUI penalties in a link that I've been put in the description to this video. In that link, you're going to see a chart which lists the penalties. And there are two basic takeaways from that chart. First, you'll notice that the penalties span a very large range from fines all the way to jail time. And second, that there are mandatory minimum penalties that the judge legally has to impose on you if you are convicted. But that penalty chart doesn't answer the most important question, which is, what penalty will you get if you are convicted of impaired driving or a DUI or a refusal to take a breathalyzer test? The answer to that question depends on three important factors. First, the level of alcohol or drug concentration in your blood. The higher the numbers are, in other words, the more alcohol or drugs you have in your system, the harsher the penalty will be. Second, whether this DUI charge is your first offense or whether it is a repeated offense. And if it is a repeated offense, is this your second repeated offense, your third repeated offense, etc.? If you're convicted of a repeated DUI charge, the consequences will be much harsher than if this is your first drunk driving or drug driving conviction. And third, whether you have caused bodily harm or death to another person. If that happened, then you'll be facing a much more serious penalty than if no one was hurt as a result of your actions. Ultimately, a judge will decide on what your penalty will be based on what I've just discussed. If you've been charged with a DUI, impaired driving, or refusing a breathalyzer test, your legal strategy can make the difference between winning and losing. Reach out, let's have a confidential and free discussion about your case.